Giving you the information you need. This is Inside the News. Here's Guy, Ben, and Frank.
Welcome back to Inside the News. Glad to have you with us. Big shout out to all of our radio affiliates across the country. We love you very much. Thank you so much for carrying our program. The AUN TV network, our good friend Rick Trader out there, we thank him. And you can also catch us on YouTube. Go back to our YouTube channel and you can catch our live broadcast of last week following what happened in Washington, D.C., going inside the D.C. protest. It was a lot of fun, and Rick Trader actually did join us. And it's worth all 56 minutes of watching that live broadcast. We have Frank Vernuccio and Ben Brunson with us. Welcome back, Frank.
Great to be with you.
All right, Ben, let's pick up where we left off in the last segment, which is quite interesting. We were talking about AOC. We were talking about Donald Trump running again. And then also in the AOC front, we've got Bernie Sanders, who is running as a presidential candidate, Ben.
Well, thinking about Bernie Sanders and AOC, they're really bookends of the same strain of the Democratic Party, this socialist movement, which has been useful to the Democratic Party to attract a lot of young people who really don't know what socialism is or what it means, but it is a method to energize young voters into the Democratic Party. I feel very strongly about this issue of Bernie Sanders. The fact is, for progressive Democrats, the people who really control the Democratic Party, the Clinton clan, now the Biden clan, the oligarchs, the big tech oligarchs who really have influence and sway over the party, they're not socialists. Not socialists the way Bernie Sanders, who is a true socialist, thinks about it. They're progressive, they're globalists, they're getting rich. They don't want socialist policies because they're making millions and millions of dollars. The Biden family makes millions every year selling influence. They learned from the Clintons, who as a family have become essentially pseudo-billionaires by virtue of having this massive slush fund called the Clinton Global Initiative, the Clinton Foundation. And they don't want socialism. They want control, and they want wealth and power and riches. And that's what they're getting. That's what they're fighting Donald Trump about. This is the reality. And people like Bernie Sanders are frankly useful idiots. And that, again, it'll help energize young voters, and it helps to hide the reality of what elite progressives are all about, which is more money, more wealth, more power, and unfettered power. And that is exactly what they're gaining right now. And they've had a very good couple of months through what I believe is a fraudulent election. But, there are more elections to come. And if the Republicans can play their game correctly, there are going to be some big Republican victories in the near future.
You know something, Frank, Ben, great points there with Bernie Sanders, and when Ben calls him the useful idiot, maybe that's a good description. I kind of like that and kind of chuckled when Ben said that. But Bernie Sanders has gotten his way more than what you think. And yes, he's got this bartender that's in Congress now, AOC, and she's using everything to her advantage, and she's really pulling the strings. But kind of comment on what Ben was talking about there, Frank.
Well, I want to go back to one of Ben's specific points, which was when he said that the impeachment was about preventing Donald Trump from running again, or that's what their intent was. It's a lot more insidious than that. What is being done in Congress is not to prevent Donald Trump from running again. It's to prevent anyone who thinks like Donald Trump to run again. It's a warning shot across the bow. One way or the other, Nancy Pelosi is saying, along with her supporters, we're going to get you. You don't have to do anything illegal. You don't have to do anything wrong. You don't have to do anything immoral. We're going to get you. The message of the 4 years of the Trump administration has been, if you go against the deep state, if you go against the elites, we will make your life a living hell. We will prevent you from exercising your free speech rights. We will eliminate your chances of running or winning from office. We will cut you off from the American public. And that is the most insidious part of all of this. We all knew the Russian collusion charge was nonsense, and yet it went forward. In the same way that an unscrupulous business owner who wants to put a smaller competing business out of business will provide nonsense lawsuits one after the other until the poor opposition goes broke. That's what's being done by this Congress and by the Democratic Party. They will make anyone who opposes them and their elitist leaders make their lives miserable. They will tie you up in court with nonsense lawsuits. They will try to criminalize your free speech. They will portray you in the media, and they own the media for the most part, as somehow you're a terrible person. And that's what's been going on. They will cut off every avenue you have to getting your voice out, whether it's on the internet, on conventional media. If you listen to the traditional ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN, those folks, the lies, not just a different point of view, but the absolute lies they have been telling for 4 years about both Trump and those who agree with him have been astounding. And I think that's the real message. This should not be seen as an anti-Trump move. It should be seen as a move against the exercise of the Bill of Rights.
We are just going to get started on this topic, but Ben, I've got to bring up something that Frank just talked about, that they know you. And I just scribbled down some notes here. Search engines, they know who you are and what you are looking at. They know what you're searching. And so you can think that you're hiding, but you can't hide because they can actually search you out and they know what's going on. You have about 45 seconds.
Well, that's the reality of the world we live in today. We have Parler being shut down in a concerted effort by big tech companies colluding with the Democratic Party to destroy Parler's free speech rights and business rights. I hope they're very successful in their lawsuit. We'll see what happens. But something also happened there. Parler was hacked in recent days, and it is a massive doxing attempt or an attempt to out those who are using Parler to communicate in and around the events of the storming of the Capitol. So, and frankly, anyone who's a Trump supporter who's on Parler. So this campaign against Trump supporters is in full swing and unfortunately ongoing.
All right, we've got to leave it there. We've got a lot more. Is Linwood off the reservation? Well, maybe he is. What about the Pence factor? And then the disinformation campaign by the left, plus a whole lot more. This is Inside the News. Thank you so much for joining us this week. We'll be back.
You're listening to Wehman, Brunson and Vernuccio, Inside the News.